Hello, welcome to first class of Intro to Yoga. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for putting your trust in me. I'll remind you that by the end of this 3-week series, you'll be able to go into any yoga class anywhere, know what to expect, know what not to expect, and feel comfortable making each shape work in your body. So we'll begin today, just a 10-minute class. We're going to talk about the who, what, where, when, why of yoga, all right? The how, we're going to spend some significant time on. But for today, let's just start at the top. Who is yoga for? Every single person. Every single person. I passionately believe this from the bottom of my heart. Yoga is for you. Whatever reason you've attached to why you can't practice yoga, it's just not true. We can literally teach yoga to people who cannot move a muscle, completely paralyzed. They can practice yoga. So if you can move a muscle, you've already got a leg up, no pun intended. So we're gonna start by just reframing our mind to know that yoga is for you. It's not for that person down the street who looks like a yogi, who walks around with her yoga mat and looks really cool and blah, 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 blah. It's for you, it's for you, it's for you. You don't need a mat, you don't need a block, you don't need anything. You can practice yoga lying in your bed at night. You can practice yoga in your pajamas, okay? So now that we've gotten that taken care of, what is yoga, right? So we all have our different impersonations, like our different, not impersonations, interpretations of what yoga is. Most of it comes from media, right? From movies that we've seen. And, honestly, it drives me crazy when we see these like super zen out people in the movie. Like, you know what? Very few people ever get to that place, okay? That takes years and years and years. And do we really even want to get to that place where we're talking like this? I mean, no, right? What yoga is essentially is a union. Yoga means union, right? Of the mind, body, and spirit. So what many people don't realize is our bodies have different layers, right? We know like, hey, I've got the skin, I've got the bones, I've got the muscles, right? We've got the cardiovascular element, like the blood pumping through our bodies. We kind of know this, we learn this stuff in school. But what we don't know is we have this energetic layer, right? And it's physiological, it's real. It's an actual part of our physical body that we didn't even know. And then there's a layer even beyond that. You may have heard those hippity-dippity people talk about their aura. Well, guess what? They're not full of it. It's actually a real thing. So what we do in yoga is we combine all of these parts of our body, recognizing they're equally important. So what we do is we connect our mind with our body by way of our breath. Okay? So think about vinyasa yoga. It means moving with your breath. So you can bring your awareness to your left big toe right now. Yeah, thinking about your left big toe. Yeah, it was there before, it'll be there after. But you can actually shift your awareness over there, right? So now bring your awareness to your breath. Just notice that you're breathing. Feel the breath going in and out of the body. And now I want you to take a really big breath in and a really big breath out. All right, a couple things just happened there. Number one, we like to think we don't have any control over our thoughts, but we actually do, right? So we can actually shift our thoughts by shifting our awareness. So just then, what we did is we brought our awareness, what we were thinking about, to our breath, right? And then goes way deeper than that. By taking that big breath in and that big breath out, you slowed your heart rate. You calmed your nerves, right? So that's what we're doing in here. When we're practicing yoga, we're basically changing our physical bodies, changing our mental state by way of our breath. So rather than hearing all the that's constantly going on in your brain, and rather than the increased heart rate and the stress and all the things, we use our breath and some movement and shifting our awareness to calm, making sure that our physical body feels an impact, our mental state feels an impact, and we do that by way of our breath. Pretty cool, huh? So a lot of people don't realize that. So think of yoga like a union. And actually, fun fact, unita yoga, unita means unity in Italian. My father's family came over from Italy, and I take a huge, that's really important to me, but so is the word unity, so is union, so that's where it comes from. So anyway, let's go on. I'm going to digress and keep bringing it back in. So how are we doing on time? I'm halfway there. Okay, so when to practice yoga? This may sound like a dumb thing, right? Everybody likes to practice at different times of day. There's no wrong or right answer here, just like how I personally like to wake up, brush my teeth, and practice yoga. Like, I like to be on my mat within 20 minutes of waking up, ideally within 15 minutes. Barely awake, coming into child's pose, that's my best practice. Now, I'm super stiff. It's not my best physical practice, but it sets me up to have the best possible day. My best physical practice would occur, around 4:45 p.m. That's where I may be like leveling up and trying some new stuff and having a little more fun. And then maybe my best yin practice would be in the evenings, in my pajamas, on my cushy carpeted floor, right? So there's no real wrong answer as to when to practice yoga, but there are some things that I want you to consider. Food, when you've eaten, it really, really matters, okay? A yin practice, it matters slightly less, but you never want to practice with a full belly. It doesn't feel good. If you eat and then start practicing yoga right away, we hang out upside down a lot in yoga classes, so you're gonna feel like that kind of burping, like kind of feel like your food may or may not come back up. I don't mean to be gross, but it's just real. And I don't want to get too detailed, but flatulence can be an issue too, right? So you don't really want to be like working on digesting your food while you're trying to practice yoga. I talked to one person who said, oh, I love yoga, but I can't practice it because I can't stop farting. I'm like, hey man, don't eat 3 hours before practice and you'll be good to go. And sure enough, now he's practicing every day. So these kinds of things are real. We don't talk about them very much, but it's a real thing. So for me, it works best to practice on an empty stomach. Now, not so empty that you're shaky and low blood sugar and all that good stuff. That's why it works best for me first thing in the morning. Find what works best for you. If you're feeling digestive upset, it doesn't mean you can't practice yoga. It just means maybe you didn't eat at the right time with your practice. Let's see here, where? Oh, okay, this is one of those things where I'm probably gonna annoy you again, but you really can practice yoga anywhere. You need about 2 feet by 6 feet. Okay, so I practiced in closets, in my bathroom, in my bedroom, in my bonus room, in the studio, in the gym, in the equipment closet of the gym. I know that sounds crazy, but I was trying to do yin and I didn't want anybody to see me, I just wanted to be alone. You really can practice anywhere. You can practice on a mountaintop, on the beach, yada, yada, yada. Things you want to consider, you might have your really good mat. I'm sitting on my really good mat right now. It's not my travel mat. I would not take this mat to the beach. I wouldn't take it to the mountains. I don't want it to get super dirty, so I've got a travel mat and then I've got my good mat. You can also practice on a towel, worst case scenario. It's super hard though, it's really tricky. It does help a lot to have a yoga mat. It doesn't have to be a super expensive one, but I will tell you, the more expensive your mat, the better your practice is gonna feel. This is a Manduka Pro. It's like close to 150 bucks. I've used it thousands of times and it's brand new. So if money's no option for you and you wanna set yourself up for success, Manduka Pro is definitely the way to go. But generally speaking, spend about 20 bucks, get yourself a decent mat. Not one of those like $5 mats. I wouldn't go that cheap. But then bring it with you wherever you want. Try yoga in different settings. See what feels good in your body. I've got a minute and a half left to talk to you about the benefits, the why, okay? Why to practice yoga. This is the easiest one because I think we all instinctively know that yoga is going to help us feel better, just overall in general. It'd be crazy if I didn't mention the physical benefits, guys. You're going to get lean, you're going to get strong, you're going to get flexible. That's just going to happen. There's no way around it, right? When you develop a regular yoga practice, you get stronger, you get more fit, you get more flexible. But the things that a lot of people don't realize is that you have these subtle benefits. The biggest one for me personally, I'll share with you, I used to think I couldn't practice yoga because I wasn't able to sit still. And that may be the case for you. A lot of people tell me that. I can't practice yoga because I can't sit still. Yoga has helped me develop the ability to sit still, doing absolutely nothing for long periods of time. And I know that sounds like a strange benefit, but it really makes my life so much better to be able to, for example, lie in bed at night, and instead of cursing away the fact that maybe I'm having trouble sleeping, instead enjoying the sensation of lying in my bed, recognizing that I'm comfortable, and that it feels kind of good to just lie there and rest. Or standing in line in the grocery store, maybe you feel like you've you've got to do this and you've got to do that and check that email and then it's your turn and you just need to finish this phone call really, really quick and just hang on, let me just da-da-da-da-da. Or you just stand there and you look around, you notice people, maybe you exchange a smile or two, maybe you enjoy standing up straight, bringing your awareness to your posture, your breath, whatever it may be. Sometimes that inability to sit still can get so intense that it actually affects our life though, guys. Like maybe you can't sit still through a movie. Maybe you have a hard time having a conversation with someone and staying focused on what they're saying. This practice of yoga just helps you settle, helps you focus, helps you shift your awareness where you want it to be, on the person who's speaking to you, on the movie you're watching, on your partner, on your child, on yourself. So come with me on this journey, guys. You'll see all the benefits. There are so many, there are countless. But I want to keep it to 11 minutes, sorry, not 10. Thank you, and come back, we'll try again. Next class, we're going to be diving into studio culture versus gym culture. So come with me.